So welcoming you all to the data frame and series video lecture 3. So today, first of all, we are going to talk on the native accessors. Now, just giving you the name doesn't mean anything, right? Like what is that and all that things may roam in your mind, but I wanted to clear out your mind. Yes. Before moving into the video, I wanted to clear out your mind completely. Just absorb the knowledge which you get, and I will also frame the things in which you can also able to apply it. So sit ideal, stay focused, and let's start me with my lecture. So the thing is, what happening till now is that we know the basic structure, right? That this is the table, sorry, yeah, this is the reviews data frame, right? This is the reviews data frame over here, and in reviews data frame, if I want a particular index value, right, a particular index value, let's say, so how can you get that? Imagine that this is means if I want a particular index value, for example, let's say 0 1 2 3 4 5 and so on, I want these index values. What is over here? So how can you get it? If I just roam you over the decision, what is the key is that we know that data frames, first of all, take your brain to over this concept that data frames, we know what we are storing in data frames. Quick answer, dictionary, right? We are storing dictionary. What is dictionary? Key value pair, right? Now my question is that I want this value, I want this value. So to get this value, I want to access the key, right? And here is where the mystery lies. In data frames, the keys are nothing but columns and the values are nothing but the rows, right? And the values are nothing but the rows. So for that's why in data frames, we used to select columns first. So we will write reviews, that is data frames name over here. Then column, that is key over here. Let me write column, that is key over here. So we have written country over here. And let's say I want the value at index, let's say 2. So what will be the value will be shown over here. If I show you in a proper way that what is happening over here, let me take you over this. So this is all the things. We have imported the pandas and we have also read the CSV file, and this is the table structure which is over here with all the 5 columns. So now I am going to tell you that what we have done. Now let's say I want the indexing of US. I want to show the US in my answer. How will you get? Means I want this US over, or I can say I want this what is written over here in a proper way. I want to print it, right? So how can you do that? First of all, as we know, we have to write reviews. Okay. Now we want to write key. Why key? Because we can able to access value from the key. So we will write key over here, that is description. Okay. Now look at the indexing. So it's 0, 1, 2 and 3. So it's at the third index. Now cross the finger and it's running. See, for example, if I want, let's say not this, if I want, let's say I want province name over here and I want this northern Spain. So how could I get it? So province, right? And then I want to show the indexing number. Rows can be written in always square brackets. Remember this in native Python accessor, or I can say till now always write your indexing of rows in square brackets. You have a free hand on dot notation or the square bracket notation in columns, but you have to write the rows notation in square brackets. Remember this. So I now had this something like this, or I can say I want northern Spain, right? So its indexing is 1. So again, let's cross the finger and it's there. So this is what is being happening till today. Now over the years, what happened before moving that? So this is what happening, like you are extracting the column first and then you are selecting the row, right? You are getting the key first and then you are getting the value, right? But what I want to do the reverse. What if I want value first and then I want to move the key? In simple sense, what I am telling is, what if I want this whole row first, and from that whole row I select which columns I want, right? For example, if I want 3 columns together, so it will be beneficial that first of all I select the whole row. Means what I am telling is, first of all I select the whole row, and from that whole row I select the particular columns I wanted. For example, this and this column I want. So for that, first of all I have to select the whole row. But according to the native Python, means in the previous ages, what we used to do, we used to have the key first, that is column over here, right? And on the second place we used to have value, that is rows over here. Now we want it to be in a different condition. In different condition means we want row first, right? This is spatial targeting. We want row first and then we want column selection, right? So this is the thing which is happening over here. So this is also the same thing written. We first want to select the whole row and then we want to select the whole column. For that, there are total two methods in which we can able to do this. Let me show you. For the first one is iloc, iloc. That full form is index based selection, right? Its full form is index based selection. It's not a full form, but you can say, I can say, you can understand it better in something like this. I means index based selection and loc means you can say it like location. So let's say you have a matrix something like this. Okay, you have a matrix something like this, and let's say a b c are the column names, and indexing is being done over here, so 0 and 1, and some data, let's say x y z p q r, something written like this, right, over here. Now what I want is, I want to get this position over here. I want to get this position means I want to get this y from over here. So again, what we have discussed over here, we have discussed we have to select row first and then we have to select column. So to get the y means iloc is the part of the modern indexing, right? So obviously, what the first thing you have to do? The first thing you have to do is selecting the row. So selecting the row, it's 0 over here, right? For selecting the row, it's 0 over here. So first of all, selection of row has been done, right? Selection of row has been done. Now, now, now I want this y. Now how should I get this y? I should get this y by writing the column name, but right? But iloc is different in this case. In iloc, you don't have to write the name of the column. What I mean is that there is indexing over here also, right? There is indexing over here also. So it's a pure numerical value, right? So means if I want y over here, I want this y, I have to just write 0, comma 1. This is the index value. If I just draw the graph over here, right? So the value is 0, comma 1, right? If I just have the coordinates, so coordinates are 0, comma 1. And again, what will be in front of it? The data frame name. But is it sufficient? Is it sufficient to write this much? No, it is not. Why? Because we are using iloc. So obviously we have to specify that by method iloc and by applying method iloc on the reviews data frame, we are selecting the zeroth row and the first column and the first column to get the value, and the result over here will be y. So let me show you that how it's working. Let's say again I want this province. Now this province means I want this northern Spain over here. So what is the, again let me say, what is the row number of this, right? What is the row number of northern Spain? It's 1, right? What is the, I can say, the column number? So if I write this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, and this is 5. So it is an index 5. Okay. Now what I am doing is I am applying iloc. Iloc on what? On reviews. Now if I enter this, you will get a value something related to this. So now examine that what is basically showing over here, right? Right. So it has basically taken the value 110. We have made the mistake in indexing of column. That is, let's say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But we have, this is also the column. So 0, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. So the indexing over here will be 1 greater, that is 6, and you get the northern Spain over here. So this is what the thing. And always remember in iloc, you can only able to write the, oh yep, yes, you can only able to write the column, you can means only able to write the index values, index number value. You can't able to write the whole name like designation points, like over here we are writing description and all that thing. You can't able to write that. So again let me show you reviews dot iloc. Again, for example, if I want whole this row, means whole of these columns, what I'm telling is, if I want all this value, California, Northern Spain, Oregano, Provence, then what will we will use this double dot. This means everything. I want to select every row from the table. And which column? So it says column is at the index 6, and see, it has been selected over here, right? Let me delete it out. Not to delete it out, but so this is what the thing is. Then let me tell you another thing. What if we do something like this? Reviews dot iloc this comma this, will it work? It will show you whole table, right? It will show you whole table. Means what happening? You are selecting every row. Double dot means you are colon means you are selecting every row, and another column means you are selecting every column. So this is what the thing has been offered over here. Now another way to look at it is, let's say if you don't want to give the column, right? If you don't want to give the column, you just want the row, a particular row, let's say the 0th row, right? So what is happening? I want this row, this whole row, US description, this designation, this has been over here, country US description, this designation, this and all that thing. So by this you can also able to get the full row. Now if I want the things from the back, means if I want something like this, I can't able to count, like, means if someone says that give me the row from the back, let's say the row number is 5, so what we will do, reviews dot iloc from the back, so -5, right? And if you leave it, then what will happen? It will select every column. If you don't write anything, then every column is selected. So from the back, 5 rows has been selected with every column. Okay, so this is the basic thing which you can able to play with around. Now let me show you another thing. So this is iloc. There is also another concept, that is loc, right? That is nothing but loc. In iloc, what is the basic mistake which we have done? Indexing, right? While writing the northern Spain from the province, we have by mistake written 1,5. We have incorrectly done the naming of, or I can say we have incorrectly done the, I can say, indexing of the column. So to prevent this, a superior method, or I can say the same method came, that is loc. In loc, you can able to do indexing of rows, right? So rows indexing is necessary. So rows indexing, let's say 0. Similar syntax, just in front you have to write loc and dot over here reviews, right? So 0 comma, and let's say I want to select particular column. To select column, you can also able to write the indexing over here, but the more flexibility for which it is used is nothing but the naming of the column. For example, if I know the column name, that is province over here, right? That is province over here, you can write and get the value, right? So let me show you. So let me show you the basic thing what it means in a coding, so it will able to grasp your attention more finely. Again, reviews you have to write, this time only loc. You have removed I. What is I? Means indexing. And what indexing on what? Indexing on column. So you have removed I removed means you have removed the indexing on column. So if you remove the indexing on column, and now I want, let's say, before moving that, let me just have that table in front of us so we can able to look it. Yeah, okay. So I want this northern Spain over here, right? So how would I get the northern Spain? Through loc. Now let's say, again, for row you have no option, click 1, means it is the option, but usually there are the indexing, so let's let it be 1 because it is in the first row. And let's say we have province over here, it's giving northern Spain. Now what if I write 1 over here? What is happening? It is showing us error, right? It is showing us error because here colon comes, right? Similar to that syntax, because here colon comes. Again, what has happened over here, if you can able to see it properly, we have started from 1, right? We have started from 1, means I want the first row, right? I want the first row. Now because the syntax, let me tell you, first of all let me tell you the syntax. So loc syntax is something like, you should write row, comma, column. Always this should be the syntax. Now what I have done previously is, yep, yes, I have written this. Now what is happening over here is, it is considering it as a ridiculous thing. A ridiculous thing means it is taking the first row, but in column it is taking everything. It is means it is assuming that because there is no comma, there is no column, means there is no specification for column. So if there is no specification, we will display each and every column over here. So this is what the thing had occur over here, right? This is what the thing had occur over here. So the syntax of reviews.loc needed a comma in it, means if we see the thing over here, it is in a syntax of reviews.loc. You should have row number over here, comma, column number over here. The comma is necessary, otherwise it will detect that there is no column and it will select every columns from the data frame. So this is the thing that is occurring over here. There is also a famous thing which we can see, that is reviews. And let's say we want multiple columns to be selected. For example, I have selected the row 1. Row 1 means this. Now I want country, description and designation, the 3 columns to be selected. So country, now description and designation. So if I run this, you will get the row 1. This is the row 1, It's showing the row index, country, Spain, description this, and designation to specify the particular columns from the particular row. So this is what the thing is. Now what we have done over here is, because we want to store the multiple values over here, we want to get the, not store, we want to get the multiple columns over here. We have used the list over here. In list we are storing all the values. So this is the thing. And similar to that, if I write something like, if I want particular values also, it will work. For example, if I write 0 and let's say 10, what is happening? Let us see. Means it is taking from 0. What it is doing is, it is telling us to select from 0 to 10. 0 to 10 means you have to select the 0th row to till the 10th row. And the same thing if I done with the iloc, it will take up till the 9. So LOC has the included 10, whereas iloc has the excluded 9. Right? So LOC has the included 10 and iloc has the excluded 9. The syntax of both LOC and iloc is same, that both needed a column. Now how the column is needed? So column is needed by having a comma over here. Right? We are just, see, we are doing the comma over here to get the whole. Right? This is the comma. Again we have done the comma to get the particular column. It is similar to the LOC, but the only difference over here is that in iloc, the 10 which is written over here, the second digit is exclusive, whereas here it is inclusive, and nothing much more difference is there. So there is a basic thing that if you want, if there is indexing over here, means in the question the indexing is given and there is a matrix, then you do the numerical position. Means if there is indexing specified, that you want specific value from 1 comma 2 coordinate, used iloc. Whereas if indexing is not there and they have given that you want country, from country column select the 0th row. If something like this has been given, use LOC, right? Use LOC. And again we have shown that it is inclusive. The 10 over here is inclusive, whereas in, if you write zeros to 10, this 10 is inclusive, whereas over here if you write 0 to 10, this is exclusive. You can see something like this over here, that this is the exclusive thing in iloc, whereas in LOC it is inclusive. So this is what all about in today's lecture. We will look about it later. Thank you for watching the video.